Alright guys and girls, I want to make a serious video. How to take a dookie. And the reason it's serious is because 90% of all plumbing problems are caused by too much toilet paper or feminine products down the toilet bowl or too much hair in the drain. So for the reasons of saving yourself on calling a plumber, for the reasons of not causing a leak in your house, especially if you live on the second floor, for the reasons of courtesy in a public restroom and hygiene for your own personal sake, learning how to take a dookie is art and science. So in this video, I'm going to break down the science of taking a dookie, okay? Especially for my nomads, because I've been living on the road 4 years. And what I can tell you, as someone who lives on the road and someone who has owned a home and had to call a plumber, taking a dookie is serious business. The first step to taking a dookie is to assess the bathroom before you sit your big ass down. What does that mean? First, you have to check to make sure there's enough toilet paper to handle the load you're about to drop. 2, you have to check to see if there is a plunger in the proximity of the toilet bowl. Because if things get serious, and sometimes they do, you need to know if you got a plunger readily available. Once you've assessed this, then you can sit down. Now, once you sit down, especially now we're talking about in a public restroom, but I want to say this even for home, you should practice this because remember, humans are creatures of habit, so you need to practice. So once you've made the assessment, you sit down and you take your dookie, the first log or the second log or whatever. The next step is not to wipe or even look at your phone. The next step is to flush. Before you let the dookie marinate and you look at your phone, before you take the first wipe in your buttocks, you need to flush so the fumes do not release too far, suffocating you, and especially in a public restroom, as a courtesy to the person next to you or potential person that may walk into the restroom. Always flush before you do anything else. After you take that dookie, you got to flush before you wipe, before you relax. So the fumes don't get out. And so before you start to drop toilet paper in the toilet bowl, you don't want to cause a backup. Because again, 90% of problems are due to too much toilet paper down the toilet bowl. So if the dookie isn't flushed and now you're going to add more waste through your paper towels and the dookie that's left in your butt, you're going to cause a backup. So immediately flush. Next, you could relax a little bit now, okay? You can look at your phone a little while. Then learn to wipe a little bit while you're still spread out and on the toilet bowl so that too much dookie doesn't get caught in the crevices of your butt. Okay. As you wipe, okay, and if you can, especially in America, we don't have a bidet or whatever where water shoots up your butt to limit the amount of wiping you have to do or to eliminate a rash. So if it's a clean toilet bowl and you flush it, use some of that water, okay, to dab on the toilet paper and then wipe your butt, clean it, okay? Then flush again. Flushing intermittently is the key to taking a dookie. If you wait to the very end, after you dookie, after you wipe yourself, after you look at your phone for 15 minutes, one is it's going to smell like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toxic sewer waste. 2 is you're going to have a Mount Everest of dookie and toilet paper. And if you didn't do step 1 and assess to see if you have a plunger, you're about to be in big trouble. Big trouble. Whether it's at your home where you have to call a plumber and they charge at least $120 an hour and some of you cheap, or in a public restroom where you're about to embarrass yourself. You can never go back to that gym if you back that toilet bowl up too nasty. So as you flush intermittently and then you stand up and you may need to wipe yourself again, because, when you stand up, you have to remember now you're standing up and there may be some dookie that got caught in your butt, like as you arched your back. So you got to do a couple more wipes, front and back. I know my girls, watch your yeast infection. I know. Wipe yourself completely. The final wipe is the stand-up wipe. Then your final toilet paper goes in the toilet bowl. Then you do a final flush and a final assessment. You know, is the toilet bowl completely flushed and not coming up? Like some people flush and then they walk out. Wait till it goes all the way down and stops circulating. As a respect, you know, and as a covering, if you live in that house, you don't want it to, like, you flush, you walked away, and then it started to gargle back up, and then it started to overflow. That's a mistake. I made some mistakes. So the final flush, and then the final assessment. The toilet bowl is completely flushed. It's back to normal level. There's no issue. You assess the toilet paper situation. Is there enough for the next person or for the next time you come in there? Because remember, when you're coming in hot, that's not hard to determine if you got toilet paper. That's a very key thing. So make sure you're stacked up for the next time or for the next person. Make sure everything's put back to place. And then you exit the bathroom, you wash your hands, and you have now completed the proper dookie. You've completed the proper steps to ensure that you never live a life where you disrespect yourself, your neighbor, the people next to you in a public restroom, and that you never get caught without a plunger. You never have to call a plumber for basic dookie problems. You've learned to become an adult. And the truth is, you're going to find out in this world, there's not too many adults. Common sense is not common. And dookie problems, very common. So I hope this video changed your life. Okay? If it did, click that blue join button. Why? I just saved you hundreds of dollars in plumbing throughout your entire life. That's worth at least, a new member. Okay. However, if you're cheap and you're the type of person to wipe yourself and you still got dookie underneath your fingernails, I understand. Okay. Just watch the videos for free and subscribe. As always, self-care is the key to all decisions. If you can't figure out how to take a dookie, I don't know how you're going to figure out your career, how you're going to figure out your relationships, how you're going to figure out anything in life. It all starts with self-care, dookie management, life management, time management. Thank you for watching.